Good morning, everyone. This is 3333 Lightworker bringing to you today tarot reading for the collective from July 6th through the 12th. Now, just to let you know, we're in the pre-shadow phase, and I'm sure it's been hitting most of us, but Mercury retrograde. Okay, so if you've had like this last week, if you had a few bumps and surprises along the way, just know it's Mercury retrograde, and when it ends around probably the between the 20th and the 24th of July, uh, things will get back to being smoother. Communication will be smoother. Arguments you may have with somebody else will be resolved in things like that. So the first card I want to tell you all about is the leader right here. And if you could see the clock way up in the top, you see where it says 40? That's the number's card. But right below it is the little tiny clock inside the tree. And then the pathway, the ever winding pathway to the road. Now, this card represents, you know, that you're leaving one door, okay, so another door can open. Meaning, if you're closing out a cycle with a relationship, just know that another one will soon arrive. If you didn't get that job that you applied for, just know that another one is going to arrive. Now, just to let you know now, Mercury retrograde, sometimes we apply for things, we try to get things done, and yet the planets are telling us to slow down and make wise choices. So if you applied to a lot of jobs, I'm just getting chills. So that I must be telling the truth right there. Well, I always tell the truth, but I'm just saying that's Spirit's way of letting me know that I'm spot on that. They want you to know that they have each and every one of us, all the human beings in the world. We have angels assigned to us. They are, gently, trying to get you into the right path. But if you try to force things during Mercury retrograde, they won't happen for you. So just to know that. So the thing to always remember here is to be honest with yourself and others at this time because of Mercury retrograde. And we don't want that finger of fate pointing down on us. We want it somebody else, not us. So always tell the truth. And we've learned our lessons, and we're a better version of ourselves at this time, and we're never going to repeat those past mistakes again. And you got to take responsibility for your own caca, so to speak, as well as the others. They know some people don't want to grow up, some people don't want to change, some people are so stubborn that they can't see the error of their ways. That's when you know that you are rising higher in life and you're ascending to a better person. And if that person wants to stay the same forever and ever, then God bless them. But you are changing, you're evolving, you're becoming a better human being. Okay, and you're not going to let those past people try to get into your life again and knock you down because they're jealous and envious, because you chose to change yourself, change your life, change every aspect of yourself to become a better human being. Now, the next card we have right here is education. Now, education, like I said on the previous card, you may, want a better job. Well, you have to look at the qualifications and take a class or two in order to get those, qualifications so you can apply. It could be computer classes, home. Maybe you want to do something for the home. Maybe you want to learn knitting and you have no idea, but it looks wonderful. It looks soothing, and it's like therapy, so you want to do that. So you should take a couple, classes on knitting, or go to the store and see if there's any knitting groups that you can, join. Or maybe you want to start a YouTube channel, and you have to go through all of the YouTube, learn to do this, learn to do that before you start your YouTube channel. But it takes time, and it's worth your while to get the education and know what the right path is for you. So you can be smart about it, or you can go blindly into something. So ask your friends or someone you trust for guidance, and knowledge is power. So get all the knowledge you can. That is power, you know. Uh, I'll say no more. I get to blabbering sometimes. And the next card we have here is flying. Look at that horse flying. That's great, isn't it? Now, flying means to us that, with a horse on has wings, it's giving you power to see things from a higher perspective. You can go through challenges and opportunities and take time to be by yourself and just meditate on those issues you're dealing with at this time and come to the right conclusions. If you're forced to sign something, don't sign it, okay? If somebody wants to hire you and they have a contract, and it's a written contract, and say you want to look it over and you want your lawyer, or you can hire a lawyer or somebody you trust to look it over to make sure that, all the I's are dotted and the T's are crossed, that kind of thing. Be smart about it. And if you don't know if you want to relocate to another state where there's tornadoes and whatever, but they're giving you twice as much money, you got to meditate on that. You got to make sure that it's the right course for you. Probably the job's worth it. And you have to, where there's you get a lot of money, but then you have to pay, deal with the weather. Sometimes tornadoes or those, what are those twisters and all that? Who knows? But you come to the right decisions because you just have to trust your heart, and then ask Spirit to guide you. They're always ready to listen, and then after you ask them, look for synchronicities in what you find out. Now, the next card here is Into the Unknown. Now, see this card? See the lady there with her eyes closed, or it's got a mask that's tied around her face, shielding her from the truth, shielding her from information that she's trying to get. But I point all of that up to it's Mercury retrograde, because Mercury retrograde is when all the shysters come out. They want to sell you everything, and why they know exactly when Mercury retrograde is every time, I have no clue. But that's when people want to come out, and they give a lot of people on YouTube or whatever, like they're selling you ads, or don't take this vitamin, or buy this pillow because it's better for you, or, all of these doctors telling you not to eat apples. I'm like, what? Or oranges or anything. I'm like, what? No, those are good things for you. But it's those kind of things. So into the known, you see the eyes, they're carved or covered, and the astral phase that we go into is it's supposed to be, here I'm studying again, because I have so much information I want to share with y'all. Take your time. We're in Mercury retrograde. It's not going to go out until, like I said, between the 20th and 24th, because everything becomes clear in good time. And it will be revealed to you what is the best avenue for you to go. And things that happen to us won't feel as such a big deal towards the end of Mercury retrograde, because it'll all be resolved, and people just want to stir you up or something during Mercury retrograde anyway. They just want to, if they're jealous, they just want to pull you into their drama. Or if you're, you just bought a car, then, all of a sudden there's a ding on it because your friends or your people or whatever, they just want you to feel sad, So try not to buy anything of big value until after Mercury retrograde, that sort of thing. So in sometimes, miracles happen during Mercury retrograde, and they're going to give you a course direction, meaning that all of a sudden you realize you need to go in a different direction than what you were heading towards. So divine, like I said, ask for the divine to show you the way, and just be aware that when Mercury, starts to course correct and be on the positive side of things, dissolve actually into the ethers as we move forward again, everything will become clearer. That's why I always tell myself, don't buy anything. I know there's going to be a lot of sales during, 4th of July, yada, yada. But I don't buy anything during these things, because most of the time the companies or stores are just trying to get rid of all the old retail, and they're just trying to sell it for whatever price they can get, And so they can bring in new stock. And what you want is the new stock, not the old stuff they're trying to get rid of. They're probably somebody else bought and they repackaged it and they're trying to sell it again. The next card we have, is the compass. I like this one because it's like I said, during Mercury retrograde and the divine, the angels are trying to steer you in the right direction. They're trying to get you to listen to them and listen to your higher power. And by that, I mean meditating and praying and ask God for guidance on which direction you are coming. Because with, I don't want to say too much about it, but all the political views and all the changes and everything, I don't know what is going on with the world. But I don't have any say in it, so I can't say too much about it other than I just have to adjust, I guess, at this time. But you also, this is another time, the compass wants you to look towards your true north. I'll get it out. True north meaning your life's purpose. And if you don't have a birth chart made, you might you can put it in one of those Google searches and say free birth charts. And there's a couple, I think there's 3 that, are pretty good. And you just enter your birth chart and they'll spit it out for you for free and you just print it off of your computer. And then, you go for the symbol, it'll tell you everything you need to know and it'll say true north and it'll give you the sign that you're in right now. And look up that sign and that'll tell you what those qualities are and that's what you're looking for. So you can go into the right direction. Okay, so that if you, like I said before, if you have any questions and you're totally confused, just know that Spirit is working on your behalf. So have faith, you are protected. And everything usually works out one way or the other. And sometimes the less we know, the better it is. I think, especially this time, it's like, should we prepare for the worst or should we just hope and pray that everything works out for the best? But you just don't know, especially during Mercury retrograde. It's so crazy. So the next card we have is Magic Prayer. Can you see that? Isn't that beautiful? This lady her face is looking up to the light and her hair is just wisping, out like the wind is blowing it. And so Magic Prayer wants us to feel the mystical feel. If you're feeling sad, say your prayers outwardly. I always pray and I always speak my prayers out. I don't say in my mind, I speak them out. And I find that your angels and everything are more responsive to that if you speak them outwardly. Now, I pray alone. I don't let anybody see me pray or anything, and you can do that too. Just go in your bedroom, open the window, and just say your prayers out to the Lord or to your archangels, your angels, and ask them for guidance, and they will respond. So you just need to act with faith. Stay in reality, of course, but just act with faith. And this means right at this time, because we're Mercury retrograde, surrendering your wishes and desires to Spirit. And I tell you, I used to try to force things to happen because I'm, a go-getter. I'm busy. I'm trying to do, 10 things all at once. But I've learned that the more I try to force things to happen, they don't happen. They don't work out the way I wanted to. But when I allow time and Spirit to bring them to me, then they happen, and it's for the best, and it all works out, and it's very copacetic, and so I've learned my lesson in that. The next card here, and we've had this card before, is the Wizard of Awareness. See this old guy? He's just looking up there. He's got everything cooking. He's thinking, manifesting. I love these cards. These are the map cards, Treasure of the Map cards by Colette Baron Reed, in case anybody is interested in that, so you know where to go. So this guy on the card, yes, we had this card last week, I believe, also, so it must be important that we hear it again this week. Never allow anyone to devalue you, okay, bully you, or try to make you do things that you don't want to do. Take the time for yourself alone and listen to what The world is revealing to you your environment, your social media, and you know, so you can see things clearly in your mind. Make choices for yourself. Past people may try to come back during Mercury retrograde. It never fails. You know, if you've been through one Mercury retrograde, you know I've been through several in my lifetime. You know, and there's always one or two wanting to come back in my life, and I'm like, no. I learned that lesson. You know, that kind of thing. So if but you have moved on from these people, and that's why they want back. They can see and feel that you have detached your energy from their own energy, and you're more successful, and you're on your own, and you don't need these people, and that seems to piss people off. Excuse me, for some reason or another. So the next card here is a field of dreams. I love the eggs in the grass there. Isn't that cool? I just love that. I love the artist who put all these cards together and designed them and everything. She's great. So Field of Dreams is whimsical. It's asking us to see our potential and work towards our abundance. So to be clear about your life, what do you want? I mean, truly, truly want in your life. And so with effort, consistency, your eyes will be, successful. They'll be grounded in life, in the earth, because you've planned. You've made your notes. You've, done your research. If you're starting a business and you want to, get an LLC, there's plenty of people to help you with that if you want to pay the price. But you can do it all on your own. It's not that hard to go online and fill out the forms at the state of whatever state you are. Fill out the forms with your business name. And if you're going to do this solo, or if you have a team of people you're coming together to collaborate, all of you will be owners. There'll be one CEO, and then, you go down the line. And at the end, you just pay the fee, and it, and a week or 2 weeks later, you in the mail or by email, you'll get a copy of your new LLC. Okay, and with that copy, you can go to your bank and then get a checking account in your business name. So it's just those kind of steps that you're going to be taking at one step at a time. So here's one that a lot of people lately I've noticed have been doing love readings and all that. I'm like over it. They say the same thing over and over again. So I don't do specific love readings. I like to do the whole entire week for the collective. But come together is two people. They see each other, say, surprisingly, you're like grocery shopping and you see somebody else, and he's a male and he's got dark hair and he's got that sexy eyes or whatever, and you guys' eyes link, and all of a sudden you two are talking. The next thing you know, he's asking for your number and all that. So just it could be that way. It could be the start of something great, or it can just be somebody to be a friend with. But Spirit has your back. So if new love comes into your life this week, don't rush it. Okay. If it's for the long term, take one thing at a time. Go out for coffee, have a coffee date or an ice cream date. Doesn't that sound good during the summer? An ice cream date, or a float or whatever, root beer float or something like that. But just take your time, and be yourself. Don't try to put on a front where you think the other person is looking for that. Just be yourself. Because if you can't be yourself in a relationship, it won't last. People always are trying to, maybe some people are always trying to change you. But I tell you, the ones that last are the man and woman who accept the person as they are. And you have a lot in common. You like to do the similar things. Those are the relationships that last. Not the freely, I got a Mercedes car, or I go vacation here, all that stuff is fine. But for long-lasting relationships, you have to have things that you can do together. You have, maybe you're an aspiring actor. maybe you should meet somebody else who's a bit more well established and they know the routes, and you guys start to talking. Next thing you know, you're going out to dinner, things like that. So just take your time. Friends first. I always say friends first. And then our last card here for this coming week is One Ring Circus. Can you see that? Yeah, One Ring Circus. That's that elephant at the top. So that could be a lot of chaos. It could be a lot of confusion. Um, but I always think One Ring Circus as you don't need a group to feel great. You don't need a group of people to tell you you're great or to make you feel great. You are independent, and that's what you need right at this time. Friends first, like I said before. But, you're very competent. You're on a journey of awareness. So clean your auras. And if you don't know how to do that, like I said, there's a lot of videos on YT or YouTube. But be discerning, because a lot of them, they don't have any clue on how to clean your auras. But there are some with the special Taiwan or Japanese symbols and all that. Listen to those. Those are great. So learn to clean your auras and, get your life back into alignment as we go about this last part of this coming week. So if you run across some of your ex-friends or just friends that you know are fake, they just smile to your face when you know exactly what they're trying to do, and you can read between the lines of what they say, and they're smiling to your face, but all they want is information so they can go back to their little hen group and gossip about you. So you got to realize what kind of friends you want from this point on in your life, and be discerning about that. Because once you make your cool million, which I can see one or two of people, I'm going to make my cool million. But you gotta be discerning on who you allow in, because a lot of people, when they see you got money or they see that you're becoming to become rich or wealthy, they're gonna latch on you because they think they can just live off of you or something like that. Those kind of friends, no. They'll just lounge around and use your money, spend your money, and then it's a hard time to get rid of them. But anyway, you as far as I can tell, and who is Sally? I want to know who is Sally, because Sally and Polly and what's that other one? Emma. Whoever you guys are, you are becoming the person you were always meant to be. So be discerning on the friends that you allow if you want them to come with you. They have to be so trustworthy. So I want to end this I want to end this week's reading in the biggest message I can say as we enter the Mercury retrograde is that a lot of past people might come back. They might do it through social media like X, Twitter, or they might respond to a video that you upload or just send you an email. Use your discernment, I'm telling you, because once you let these people back in, it's going to be twice as hard to get them out of again. If you can remember the last time you tried to get them to leave you alone and stuff like that. People are desperate now, okay? So they're going to latch on to the person they know that it's going to be making the most money, because a lot of people are losing their jobs, and God bless their souls, but if you've done your due diligence and you did right in the first job, they're just letting go to save money themselves. All will work out. You'll find another job and you'll still move on. And when it's all over and done with, you're going to be happy with your new jobs. So to those ladies that I just mentioned, their names, you have to be strong and be discerning. It could be family members that are trying to latch on to you. But you know who or what family members may be trying your nerves or whatever, but you just used your discernment, and if you're doing you might want to keep that information to yourself at this time, and don't tell friends or family or fake friends or family, about what you're doing and how successful you are at this time. So If you like these videos, please subscribe and like. It does help the channel grow. I hate to ask you to do that, but you know it is so important for the channel to grow. And I'm one of these original people. I don't try to do these readings for the likes or whatever. I'm trying to give information, help people on a nice spiritual path, and that is just because to be a nice and kind, aware person. That's all I'm trying to help people with. And please do so. I would appreciate it. If you'd like to buy me a coffee, the link is in the description box below. And so if you want a reading from me, those links are in the description box below. So until next time, be at peace.